Shalom, 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 Israel. Welcome to another Sabbath Sunday class. And I'm Brother Ananias.
Brother Ezekiel.
And we are A.O.I, the Awakening of Israel. And it's an honor and a privilege to come before you as always. But before we get started, we want to give all honor, glory, praise to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua Mashiach. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, Yahushua being His Son, who the world calls Christ. And through His strength, sacrifice, and example, we are all able to be here today, to be uplifted and edified in the spirit by the mighty brother Ezekiel today. But nonetheless, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Happy Sabbath to you all. Continue in this fight, continue in your walk, in this truth. Never give up, but keep pushing. But today, we're going to be uplifted nonetheless. And I'm going to pass it on to my brother so we can go ahead and be edified. It's on you, King.
All right. Shalom, Israel. Happy Sabbath to everybody who able to tune in and join in to tonight's class, which is called Preventing Conflict in Israel. Preventing conflict in Israel. Because right now, there's a whole lot of conflict in Israel. Whether you're so-called black, so-called Mexican, or so-called Native American, there's a lot of conflict amongst us, amongst the blacks, amongst the Mexicans, and amongst the Native American Indians, especially amongst us blacks. So I said tonight's title is Preventing Conflict in Israel, because you have to think, if we were to do that, try our best to prevent conflict within Israel, within ourselves, that we will be doing a lot better than what we're doing right now. And the enemy likes to see the conflict. So our job is to prevent conflict and stop satisfying our enemies with us going against each other all the time. So we're going to start tonight's class off with Romans chapter 12 and verse 17 through 18.
All right. It's the book of Romans chapter 12, verse 18.
17
right.
through 18.
Excuse me. Romans chapter 12, verse 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil.
Meaning, because someone does something to you and you feel you have to get back at them with doing evil towards them, it said recompense to no man evil for evil. Read.
Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
Right.
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
So if it's possible, live peacefully with all men. Notice it then said Israel. It said with all men. Even though we know we have enemies, we have to try to live in peace with them if possible. Not saying let them do to them what they want to do, not that Christian mentality. Don't let them do anything to you, but if possible, live peaceably with all men, Israel and the other nations also. So just because you know that the other nations are our enemies, don't mean we have to go making war with them. Just because the Bible said they are our enemy. We're not supposed to do that. The Lord gonna handle that.
That's right.
But especially amongst our own brethren, live peacefully. We might have to put up a little bit more with our brothers than we do with the enemy, which only makes sense. You know what I mean? But from there, let's go to Philippians chapter 2 and verse 3. Philippians chapter 2 and verse 3.
The book of Philippians chapter 2, verse 3. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
Right. So what Paul was saying is that sometimes we have to put other people's need before our own. You understand? Put other people's need before our own, and in return, when we do that, in return, when time comes, and someone might have to put their needs, your need before theirs, that'll happen for you. Basically, it's not all about you. Sometimes you have to put your brother and sisters before you, and there's nothing wrong with that. you get blessings for that. It's not all about you. Sometimes we have to put other people before ourselves. You
That's right.
know, it's not all about that's being selfish. When you're in this truth and you know that we are one nation and we are the nation of Israel, one family, one body, then you should know it's not all about you. Like when they said, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us, they're basically the same thing. You have to sometimes put your fellow man before yourself. And brother, if you have some precepts you want to bring out, feel free to bring those out also.
Yeah, I just want to add, you know what I'm saying? When it was saying like, don't let anything be done through strife or vainglory. Don't do things to be contentious. But also when you do whatever you do in life, you know what I'm saying? Like the scriptures say, paraphrasing, but do everything as you doing it unto the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So when you doing things like that, it won't be in vain glory. You doing things that's pleasing to the Most High. Everything
Right,
that we should be doing it as in that manner. I put it that way.
right. Yes, sir. Um, from there, let's go to Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 13. Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 13.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 13. And it reads, He that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him.
How many of our brothers and sisters are dead and gone because or locked up because someone heard the matter and didn't get a full understanding of the matter and decided to react before hearing the whole matter out and thinking to resolve the matter? It plenty brothers and sisters locked up right now, and you don't realize how ignorant you was until you get locked up. And if you're not locked up, you dead. You know, and the only thing you had to do was hear the matter out.
Hmm.
Said hear the. It says he that answers a matter. You done acted on a matter before he hears. You don't even know the whole story. You know, and you react off the deep end. You do harm to somebody who was 100% innocent because of you didn't take time to hear the whole matter out. It said it is folly and shame unto him, meaning it is stupid and it is shameful unto him. What does it take to sit down and hear the matter out? You done jumped off the deep end.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a few minutes to sit down. Okay, brother, this is what happened. This is the whole story. You hear something from somebody else who's not in the truth, and you jump off the deep end. And now you sitting there in jail or dead.
Hmm.
You know, so we have to hear the whole matter out.
Let me another precept to go with what you're saying.
Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Sirach or Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verse 7. And shalom, brother Bye. It say,
Shalom, shalom.
blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. So just like the brother was saying, before you can examine anything, you got to hear the matter first. Understand first and then rebuke, then give correction.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? That's a lot of things that us as a nation of people, we shy away from. We tend to hear one thing and run with it, like the brother was bringing out. But it's on you, King.
Yes, sir. So now let's go to Matthew chapter 18, verse 15 through 17.
Matthew what?
18, verse 15 through 17.
I say 18, 15 through 17.
Yes, sir. Chapter 18, verse 15 through 17.
All right. Chapter 18, verse 15 through 17. I get it.
All right.
Moreover, if thy brother shall, okay, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Right. You
If
pull that brother to the side and you don't, it's between you and him. At this point, it's between you and him. It's not ready for Tom, Dick, and Harry. It's just between you and him right now. Cause that's your brother. Pull him to the side and you talk to him and him alone. Read.
if he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Right. If he hear you, you done gain your brother. Read.
But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more,
Now
that
you
in the
get now you get one or two more brothers or sisters. I'm gonna say brother. Get one or two brothers and take him with you. Read. Take them with
that
you. Read.
that in the mouth of two or three witnesses every word may be established.
Now the witnesses understand the situation. Read.
And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church.
Read.
But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man
Let
and
him
a
be like.
publican.
Go ahead. Read. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let him be, I'm gonna read that over.
All right.
But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican.
It said, let him be as a heathen man and a Republican. A heathen, y'all know, is the other nation. But a Republican, it says the definition of a Republican, it says a collector of taxes. But you go to page, somebody get page 414 in the London Bible Dictionary, 414, and read that. I can read. I got it. I can read it, bro.
All right.
All right. It says the publicans were hated as the instruments by which the subjection of the Jews to the Roman emperor was perpetuated. The publicans of the NT were regarded as traitors and apostates, defiled by their frequent intercourse with the heathen and willing tools of the oppressor. Y'all hear that? Willing tools of the oppressor. Hence, they were classed with sinners, harlot, and heathen. So after we try to settle the beef or squash whatever's going on, and he refused to hear that, that's what you consider that. You know. Now, who want to be considered as that? It
That's right.
says um, the publicans were hated as the instruments by which the subjection of the Jews to the Roman emperor was perpetuated, regarded as traitors and apostates, defiled by their frequent intercourse with the heathen. Sorry about that, y'all. So that's what you would consider as. Basically, you were like basically a person at that point. It's like they're saying it's my way or the highway. I ain't trying to hear none of y'all saying. You know,
That's right.
and we can't be like that. We have to sit down and look at the matter of situation and let people judge the situation. But from there, let's go to uh, James chapter 1, verse 19 through 20. James chapter 1, verse 19 through 20.
The book of James, chapter 1, verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God.
Right. It said, let every man be swift to hear and slow to speak. A lot of times you try to talk to your brother and you trying to talk sense into him, and before you can finish your sentence, he cutting you off. He his emotions running high, and you trying to bring the situation down. You trying to talk sense into him, but it says be swift to hear, meaning shut the hell up sometimes. Shut your mouth, zip your lip, and listen at what your brother trying to bring out. Your brother might have been in the truth for 15 years, and you've been in there for one, but you trying to overtalk him. He got more experience than you. Sometimes you have to shut the hell up. You
Bring it
know,
out.
when you trying to talk to your kid, trying to bring sense into them, you expect them to be quiet. Why? Because you 25, 30 years older than them. They don't know nothing. Same thing goes for when you in this truth. Sometimes you have to be swift to hear and slow to speak, like the scriptures say. For the wrath of man working not the righteousness of God. You see that? The wrath of God worketh not the righteousness of God. So that's like the title of the class, preventing conflict in Israel. That's a good way to prevent conflict. Be quiet. Cause 9 times out of 10, your brother know more than you if he been in the truth. It don't matter about the age. It matters about the wisdom and the knowledge. You know, I can learn something from a young man 20 years old who been in the truth for the last 10 years of his life. And that means I got to be slow to speak and swift to hear from that young brother. So we have to remember it ain't about age. You can learn from anybody, no matter what their age is. Sometimes, like I said, we have to shut the hell up.
Right.
And it's nothing to be embarrassed about. You know, nothing to be embarrassed about. It is what it is. This young brother might got more knowledge than you. So what?
Yep.
It's
Like
for
to say
people
something.
old. Yes, sir.
What I wanted to say was this, that that's actually what we want for our children. We want them to be more uh you know versed in these scriptures than we was when we was their age. We want them to be
Mm-hmm.
way ahead of what we was ever at. We want them to be like an updated version of ourselves. Like we could redo ourselves all over again. We want that to be our children, come back with all kind of knowledge early, all kind of wisdom and understand early. So that's our goal for our children, is to be more advanced in the scriptures and this word than we was
Mm-hmm.
early. We don't want them to wait and to be behind us and lesser than we are. We want them to be better than we are
Mm-hmm.
in this word and everything in any other aspect in life. We want to prepare them in ways that we wish we had been prepared. So that
Mm-hmm.
means that they're gonna be better than us. We want them to be better than us, younger and earlier, every time. So that's what we should want for our people, for ourselves, because that means we're gonna make less mistakes going forward.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Good point, brother.
That's
From
right.
now, let's go to First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1 through 2. First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1 through 2.
Book of First Corinthians, chapter 6. Book of First Corinthians, excuse me, chapter 6, verse 1 through 2. Dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints? Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
Right. So basically what they're saying is don't go to the unjust to judge a dispute. Don't go to people who ain't keeping no damn laws, a commandment, trying to get them to be a judge. They judgment ain't worth nothing.
That's
You
right.
can't go by that judgment, they ain't keeping no commandment. You got to go to some people who on the same level as you, who keeping these commandments, who trying to get the kingdom. And it said we supposed to judge the world. The saints, who are the saints? The saints are the Israelites who are keeping the most high commandment. So if we supposed to judge the world, we should be able to judge small matters. Because when we judge the world, we judge in huge matters. We're gonna be able to judge huge matters, so why shouldn't we be able to judge these small matters? But you don't go to someone who's not keeping the law. You don't go to your homeboy who out in the world doing this, doing that, smoking weed, and try to get advice from him. You go to brother Ananias, you go to brother Abaya, and get some good uh advice from them. You know, so they not gonna steer you the wrong way. Don't go to nobody who not in the truth trying to get some advice from them. Cause their
That
advice
was
is what's that, bro?
that's what verse 6 said right there. On the end of verse 6, they go to the saints. You say, I'm reading over this the book of First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Say, dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints?
Right.
So we supposed to the script, hey, it's letting us know right there. Our people supposed to go before the saints if we got an issue or matter that we need to resolve, especially if they're available. We don't supposed to run to nobody who wicked, who no none of our oppressors, nobody who hate the Most High, or nobody who hate these laws, and who that means who really hate us. To go before them when we got our brothers in the truth that we can go and talk to and get a matter resolved. So we supposed to go before the people of the Most High, the saints of the scriptures, the people of the Most High, to resolve every and anything. So a lot of our people out there who quick to say you judging or you judging, you don't, when you start breaking down or pointing out their errors and their mistakes to try to correct them, and they want to go back, they want to jump into you judging. We supposed to judge.
That's right.
Hey, brother, I'm gonna bring something else out too, a little deeper. Like I said, we don't supposed to. If our friend, our homeboy, your homegirl, they ain't in the truth, you going to them for advice, get with. Like I said, we not supposed to go to them. But say if it's your mom or your dad and they ain't in the truth, you can't go to them.
Hmm.
You go to somebody that's in the truth. And you have to remember that. Everybody, all us look up to our parents and love our parents. But sometimes our parents just, not willing to take heed to these scriptures when we bring the truth to them. Cause our parents been in they talk, they stuck in their old ways, and we try to bring it out to them. Some parents might listen, a lot of them don't. So, you go to one of your brothers or sisters who taking this truth serious the same way you are and trying to abide by these laws and commandments. But from there, let's go to Matthew chapter 7 and verse 12.
Shalom, King.
Shalom, Kings.
What you call that?
Matthew chapter 7 and verse 12.
Book of Matthew, verse 12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets.
Read one more time, brother.
Matthew, things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets.
Right. Basically, what they're saying is treat people the way you want to be treated. You understand? Treat people the way you want to be treated, and that's something simple. You know, you can't be around here mistreating people and expect them to treat you in the right way. There's a lot of our people mistreat our brothers and sisters, and then when something happens to them, they can't understand why. It's because you ain't doing unto others as you would have them do unto you.
That's the
And
golden rule in the world, ain't it?
right. Golden rule in the world, and it's simple.
Right.
Some people want be out here causing all kind of problems and doing everything they can to keep somebody down, and then when the shoe on the other foot, you want sympathy. But now you ain't gonna get no sympathy because you should have knew. Hey man, I can't be treating this person like this, doing this person. This is my brother. But you want somebody to feel sorry for you. We're not gonna feel sorry for you. We're gonna tell you to treat your fellow man the way you want to be treated. That's how it has to be.
That's right.
I'm not gonna feel sorry for you when you bringing hell to your brothers and sisters. I know
Yep.
everybody got somebody that they know might live and feel like they high above people, looking down on people, not giving other people the benefit of the doubt. And then when something happens to them, man, I don't know why they treat me like this. You gotta look at how you treating other people. Stop being blind. Open your eyes and see how you treat other people. It's simple to treat people the way you want to be treated. That's like something built in you. Should be. It's like a automatic, but some of us don't have it. But from there, let's go to First Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31 through 32.
Shalom, brother. You cool? Call that scripture out again.
First Corinthians, Shalom, brother Yakub, brother Benai. Going to First Corinthians chapter
Shalom, King.
Shalom. First Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31 through 32.
All right. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31. Whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do all to the glory of God.
Right. Give thanks to the Most High for everything, read.
Give none offense, neither to the Jews, nor to the Gentiles, nor to the church of God.
Right. Don't be a stumbling block, read.
Even as I please all men in all things, not seeking my own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved.
Right. So Paul acted for the benefit of everyone and not just for his own. His main objective was to save God's people. You understand it? And then what us as the prophets have to be when we out there teaching. Our main objective is out there to try to save the Most High people. God gonna bless us for what we're doing, but we're not out there to benefit ourselves. We're out there trying to get our people on the right path. Every Sabbath when we go out there. You understand? That's what we have to do. That's our mission. Like brother was saying, he didn't know a long time ago, Ananias, you were saying that you found your purpose in life. What your purpose is, to wake your people up.
That's right.
And that's all our purpose. Just like Paul, we got to wake our people up every Sabbath. Not only the Sabbath, but we going to especially go out there on the Sabbath, but we trying to wake our people up every day of the week that we can.
Right.
Well, we especially going to be out there on the Sabbath.
That's right.
But from there, let's go to Romans chapter 12 and verse 14. Romans 12 and 14.
Book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 14. Bless them which persecute you. Bless and curse not.
Right. It said, bless them that persecute you. So if someone is persecuting you, or wishing evil on you, we have to be the bigger person, you know, and still pray for their person. Uh, don't want to wish evil on them, because you wish evil on them, then you know they're gonna put you in sin, you know. So you have to be smart. And I know it's hard. How somebody might say, how can I pray for this person? He constantly trying to bring me down, constantly wanting to see me fall, constantly trying to wish evil on me. You know, you have to don't try to understand it. Just do what the Most High say.
That's right.
That's right.
Don't try to understand it. Do what the Most High say, and pray for that person. Uh, and it's hard to do. I struggle with it, but I'm not gonna wish evil on that person. Uh, from now, let's go to Luke chapter 6, verse 27 through 28.
Let me get a precept real quick, King.
Go ahead, brother.
Right? It's the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such as one in the spirit of meekness. Right? So the Lord said, hey, if you see your brother overtaken in a fault, flowing in sin, going off, right? It says, restore such as one in the spirit of meekness and the spirit of obedience, meaning keeping the commandment. You're supposed to restore your brother. You're supposed to tell your brother when he's going off. That's what we're here for. Yeah, we have to self-examine, right? But hey, we have to be big brothers and big sisters in this thing, right? And love our people, because the Lord said, rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him, you know? So we had to rebuke our people and be able to see where they're going off and how to actually help that person, you know, because it's one thing to say, hey, you're going off, but it's another thing to say, hey, what if you tried this? What if you tried doing this instead of doing that? You know, maybe that might work out for you, because we're supposed to be like doctors, right? You know, being able to see the people and being a physician, knowing, hey, all right, you got a broke arm. Okay, we got to put a sling on it. All right, you need to ice it up for 30 minutes. Try that. If that don't work, come back. We'll try something else. Just like the doctor, they practice medicine, you know. So you have to give your brothers different opinions, different things going according to the scripture on how to get out his sin. But here's the last point. I'll give it back to you, brother. Lest thou also be tempted. See that? Lest thou also be tempted. Because if you don't restore your brother in meekness, if you don't restore him in obedience, if you wink your eye at your brother, hey, lest you also be tempted. Guess what? It might be the same sin. It might be a different sin you get tempted in. Hey, you might sit back and chuckle at your brother, laugh at him, talk behind his backbite, you know, but ultimately that sin can come upon you if you don't correct your brother. But you got it, King.
Good point, bro. Trying to plug this phone back up right now.
What script you called out?
Hold on 1 second. We going to Luke chapter 6, verse 27 through 28.
You said Luke chapter 6, verse 20. What?
We're going to Luke chapter 27 through 28.
The book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 27. But I say unto you, which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you.
Right. It said, love your enemies. And y'all have to realize, in this instance, when it said love your enemies, it's talking about your enemies of Israel, not your enemies of the other nations. Have to realize that. It talks about your enemies within your nation. It said, love your enemies of Israel. Do good to your enemies that hate you, not your enemies of the other nations that hate you. Your enemies, your brothers that hate you. Do good to your brothers that hate you. Read.
But I say unto you, which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you, bless them that curse you.
Right. Pray for the one that curse you, your enemies that curse you. Read.
Bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you.
Right. Again, this is talking about your brothers who treat you in that manner. Not for your enemies that treat you in that same manner. We have to treat each other different. You don't treat your brothers the same way you treat your enemies. Once
Right.
again, your enemies are any nations that are not part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Those are your enemies. You don't treat them the same way. And I know it might sound harsh, but once you come into the truth, you'll realize that what I'm saying is true.
That's right.
But from now, let's go to Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 14. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 14.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 4. Nah, it ain't mine.
His own brother Yakub.
Yeah.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse what? 14?
Yes, sir.
Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord.
Right. Read one more time.
Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord.
Right. It said, be at peace and holiness with all men, because if not, you won't see the Lord. Meaning, if you're not in peace with all men, meaning your brothers, because the scripture was written to the Israelites when it said all men, talking about the Israelites. Remember that. Be at peace with all men. Because if you're not, you're taking a chance on missing out at the kingdom, which is our main goal. Our main goal is to be in the kingdom with the Father. So that is very necessary to be at peace with your brother. Just because you at peace with your brother, don't mean your brother gonna be at peace with you. But you gotta do what you got to do. You understand? And I'm not saying go up there constantly trying to explain to your brother, explain at some point. If he don't want to listen, you talk to the Most High, forgive him, and keep it moving. Don't hate him. Let him come to his senses and do what he gonna do. You gotta look out for your own salvation. Be at peace with him, regardless of how he or she feels about you. Y'all understand it?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
So from there, let's go to Genesis chapter 13, verse 5 through 8. And this is uh, a good example of how we supposed to deal with each other when we come to in order to keep down conflict. This could have been went a whole different direction if they would have decided to quarrel over something simple. Uh, Hebrews chapter 12. Hebrews.
I think you in Genesis,
I'm
bro.
sorry, Genesis chapter 13, verse 5 through 8. My bad.
All right. Book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 5. And Lot also, which went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents, and the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their substance was great.
Right,
So
they had a
they
great substance, so they could read.
so that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle. And the
So
Canaanite,
they were
go ahead.
having a disagreement. The herdsmen of Abram cattle and the herdsmen of Lot's cattle. Read.
And the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled then in the land. And Abram said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee,
Right. He said, hey, don't let it be no dispute between the two of us. Read.
And between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren.
We brothers. What we beefing for? We brothers. Read.
Is not the whole land before thee?
We got all
Separate
this land right here before. See, look at all this land, all this plentiful land. Read.
separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. And if thou depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left.
Right. You see how simple they handled it? And both of them went their separate ways. Now one of them pulled out their swords or their staffs or trying to abuse each other and fight each other and go to war with each other. They handling it right there like me, like brothers. And these days, we got our brother mad at each other for some of the simplest stuff that they can just go to and just, hey man, I apologize. It was like this and I misunderstood and blase, blase. They don't do that these days. They not trying to talk. They not trying to improvise. Only thing they doing is, I'm finna kill this nigga. And it goes back to one of the curses that's on us. Hey now, brother. But we trying to break that curse. That's why I bought out this class, Preventing Conflict in Israel, because I'm sure, like I am, tired of hearing about brothers killing each other, sisters fighting on Facebook, and all that kind of stuff. We tired of it. It's been going on too long. So that's why I'm bringing out this class, Preventing Conflict in Israel.
That's right.
We tired of being a laughing stock for the other nations, laughing at us on First 48, laughing at us on Facebook acting a fool. We laughing stock, not just in America, but across the whole world. Because everybody had access to this social media, which we choose to degrade and make fools out of each other and kill each other, you know. But what you about to bring out, brother, a bite, Benaiah?
Yeah, let me get a precept real quick, King. Going on what you're talking about. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 13. Admonish a friend, it may be he hath not done it. And if he have done it, that he do it no more. So this going into different conflicts that people have, right? If you heard about somebody saying something, ask him, did he say that? Ask him, did he do that? You know, instead of going to pick up guns, pick up weapons, right? Having hatred in your heart, you know, forever. You know, hey, ask that brother, did he do it? Because guess what? It might not be that he have done it, right? It says in verse number 13 at the bottom that he do it no more. No, it says, and if he have done it, that he do it no more. So it's simple. You know, a lot of times in Israel, right, our people kill each other over any little thing, stepping over shoes, especially over women. You know, our brothers dying left and right over women because, hey, this brother might have said this or he thought he said that, but he never went to his brother, Matthew 18. So now we got brothers in caskets pushing up daisies, you know, because of what somebody said, because of what they thought somebody said, but it really wasn't even like that. Or it really wasn't even about what they was talking about, right? So we had to always use our wisdom when it comes to that, how we deal with our brother. Because a lot of times it's not even that big. It's not even that big. Just like the brother brought out. You got all this land over here. We got all these different things going on over here. But we want to argue about this little thing right here. It doesn't even make sense. You know, it don't make sense. It just some mishaps, just like they brought problems to Moses, and he had other people that dealt with problems too that was under him. Moses dealt with the big problems, and then the people under him dealt with the smaller problems, letting you know that there's a level of different problems that we deal with. Some are not even that serious, you know, especially when it come over fighting over who moved my toothbrush over here, or who left the toothpaste over there, who moved the remote over there, right? Why did you move my shoes and put them in that corner? You know, just deal with problems as they come. Ask that person, hey, could you do that? Not do it again. Hey, next time, could you do this? And then a lot of times those things can be handled. I apologize, brother. You got it.
No, you ain't got to apologize, brother. You bringing it out. Appreciate it. So now let's go to Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 7.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Right. It says, when a man way please the Lord, he make it even his enemies be at peace with him. So if you got a lot of people hating on you, if you feel like you being overwhelmed with people praying on your downfall, you might have to examine yourself and see if your ways are being pleased, if your ways are pleasing the Most High. You know, a lot of times you might be doing something that you have no business doing. The Lord might have a conflict with you, and he'll by him having a conflict with you, he'll cause your enemies to do that to you. You understand? So you got to examine when you feel like you're being overwhelmed, examine yourself and see, am I doing everything according to the Most High? Why is it when you had that thought, why is this happening why is this person feeling this way about me? Why is that person feeling this way about me? Examine yourself. Make sure you're doing everything according to the Most High. It said, when a man way pleases the Lord, he make it even his enemies be at peace with him. So a lot of times your enemies are not at peace with you. You might be doing something wrong yourself. So that's something you have to look at when you're in that type of situation. But from there, let's go to Proverbs 15 and verse 18. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 18.
My bad, came up. I had my mic muted.
Yeah, all right. We going to Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 18.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 18. A wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife.
Right, so wrathful man stirreth up strife, anger, beef, animosity. But it says, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. That word appeaseth, it said, he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. And appeaseth means to bring to a state of peace, quiet, ease, calm, or contentment, pacify, or soothe. So in this day and age, to appease somebody is being weak. You weak. You let him say this to you, you let him do that to you. No. We doing according to the Bible. We trying to appease, we trying to avoid all that strife. It ain't about showing who the hardest is. Which people that being hard to get your ass killed.
That's right. That's right.
It said, but he that is slow to anger appeases strife. And that's what we want to do. We trying to calm all that. You ain't got to be hard. Being hard will get you taken away from your family, your wife, your kids. And that's what we don't want. So you have to remember that. To the people who might hear this class who not into young men. Appease strife. Try to avoid that, calm that down. Somebody coming at you, they might come at you in the wrong way. Hey man, why you step on my shoe? Hey brother, I apologize. My fault. And move on. You get to go home to your family. You stand up. What the hell you mean why I stepped on your shoe? What you gonna do about it? It's gonna kill you. Get home to your family. And it's sad that we do each other like that, but the person who's beefing about the shoe, he ain't in his right mind. He's smitten by blindness.
Right.
Right.
Bring out a quick precept.
Yes, sir.
This book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 24. Make no friendship with an angry man, and a furious man thou shalt not go. Because hey, if you dealing with a madman, like you said, you go every time you go out with this guy, right? He getting into a fight at the bar. He cussing out the restaurant owner, you know, causing strife, everything. Every time you got to run back to your car and make sure you got your protection on you, you know. Strive not with a madman. So if you're a brother that's going out with different men, right? Hey, whether they be young or old, causing strife, causing confusion everywhere they go, right? Always ready to and hey, we live in a society or a city where it's nothing but murder, you know, and we understand that. Hey, look, you can't travel with these madmen. They listening to all this polluted music, polluting their mind, and you know what's on their mind. You know what they want to do. I knew a dude back in the world. He said, which I didn't go out with him because of this. He said that he loves to go out and get into strife, get into fights. He loves to go out to the clubs and bars and to get into it with somebody. He said that makes his night.
Wow.
But you got it, King.
Crazy, man. From there, let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 23 through 24. Matthew 5, 23 through 24.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 23. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there remembrance that thy brother have aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift.
Right. So right there, the Lord telling you he's not accepting nothing until you handle that, squash that beef that you got with your brother. He said, leave that at the altar, go back and handle it with your brother, then come back and offer it to me. You understand it? How you gonna offer something to the Lord and you got strife in your heart, you malice towards your brother, and you trying to offer something to the Lord? You're not gonna handle that with your brother. Y'all squash that, y'all settle it, then you come back and I might accept your gift. You understand it? But from there, let's go to Luke chapter 17 and verse 3. Luke 17 and 3.
Book of Luke, chapter 17 and verse 3. Take heed to yourselves. If thy brother trespass against thee, rebuke him. And if he repent, forgive him.
Right. Again, the Bible keeps instructing us to forgive and make amends with our brother. You know, and if we do that, that's for our own benefit. You know, we're not going to benefit if we can't forgive our brother. Forgiving your brother for your own benefit. Not saying it's easy, but like I said earlier, that's what the Most High say, so we got to do it. Our brothers can do some of the worst things to us. And you might be thinking, I can't forgive, I can't let this go. But guess what? If you can't let that go, you letting the kingdom go.
Mm-hmm.
So which one you want, your beef or the kingdom? Your strife or the kingdom? Gotta make a choice. And it's an easy choice when you look at it. From there, let's go to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26. Ephesians chapter 4.
Can I say something, brother?
20. Sure.
That don't mean that we free to go around starting stuff with our brothers and being wicked toward our people, and they supposed to forgive us for everything we do. That don't mean we free to be wicked now. Cause now they supposed to forgive us. It don't work like that. You know, you like that's not what the scripture's saying. The scripture ain't saying you free to pick with folks and mess with folks and do stuff to folks. You free to just be oppress your people, and it's up to them to forgive you, and they got to forgive you. And now it's their problem. Now I did what I wanted to do to them, and they supposed to forgive me. And if they don't forgive me, they the one got the problem. That's not what this scripture's saying. That ain't what this. We don't want our people to get the wrong idea now. No, you can't be out there mess with nobody. You know, you need to correct yourself. You need to acknowledge your offense. You know, it's just like we trespass against the Most High. We trespass against the Most High. Now, okay, we did all kind of wrong against him, and it's his problem. It's his fault that he ain't forgave us yet. No, we got to acknowledge our wrong. We got to, we got to the Most High tell us, we did wrong. We got to acknowledge that we did wrong, and then the Most High will forgive us at that point. He'll forgive us. And he'll put us in rulership. But we can't just go around terrorizing our brothers and sisters, and then when they don't forgive us, we look at them like they got the damn problem. We got to, when somebody correct us, we got to be willing to repent and turn from our evil, wicked ways. And then when we do that, we're supposed to be forgiven at that point. Just like the scriptures tell us, don't pray for an evil, wicked person. Don't pray for somebody sin. Pray that they wake up. Pray that they stop. Pray that the Most High open their eyes up so that they can see how sinful they are and sinful and wicked and evil they are. Pray that the Most High do that for them so that they can wake up and stop. Pray that the Most High wake them up so they can stop. But don't just pray for no evil, wicked person. Pray that they wake up so that they can stop. And then once they stop, they can repent for what they're doing. Don't just pray for them so they can keep on doing what it is they're doing. Don't pray for somebody evil. Don't pray for a pickpocket so that he have a good day. And then so he can come back out the next day and oppress his people some more. Don't pray for a purse snatcher so that he have a good day so he can come back out and oppress his people even more. Don't pray for some kidnapper so he have a good day so he can come back out and oppress his people even more. Pray that the Most High wake him up.
Right.
That's all.
Good point,
we got to be shown our faults. If we trespass against our brother, somebody show us our fault. They make it clear. They make it to where we can understand our error. And then we got a responsibility at that point. Once we acknowledge our offense and repent, they apologize, then we're supposed to be forgiven.
Right.
So our people need to know that.
Good point, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'll praise it. From now, let's go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26.
Was it
The
my
book
turn
of
to read?
Ephesians.
I think it's my turn, eh?
God.
I think. I don't know. Y'all let me know. But that's the book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
Right. Scripture said, be ye angry and sin not. So basically, be angry at things that we should be angry at without sinning. Be angry for us falling from the high state that we were in into a low state. That's the thing that we should be angry about. Be angry about when we out there on the Sabbath teaching and we get 1 out of 20 to stop and listen. That's something to be angry about. You're not, when you in that type of anger, that's not sin. But when you out there, if you mad at somebody because they making more money. You mad at somebody because they house bigger than yours. They got a nicer car. That's the anger you got to avoid, because that's the type of anger that will put you in sin. You understand that? Be angry at the thing that we should be angry about. Y'all understand that?
Yes, sir.
Right. And when you angry at those things that you should be angry about, you're gonna do according to the Bible what you have to do in order to stop being angry about those things like we doing. We out there trying to get our people right so we can get back on top. That's why we do what we do. We
That's
tired
right.
of being at the bottom. We tired of seeing our brothers killing each other. Tired of seeing our nation at the bottom. We ready for those curses to flip like the Bible said they gonna do. That's why we out there trying to teach and wake our people up. That's what we need to be angry about. How we done
Right.
fell from being the head to the tail. That's what we got to be angry about. We angry at right now. We angry about the wrong stuff. We
Right.
angry because our homeboy who started the same job at the same time we mad at him because he done made the supervisor position. And you still at the entry level. No, don't hate on your brother because of it. But from now, let's go to Matthew chapter 5 and verse 9.
Yeah, and that spirit you talking about, you know what I'm saying? That's a actual covetous spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he tell them, Most High Yahweh tell us in Exodus chapter 20 not to have a covet. Thou shalt not covet. I put it that way. Don't be or have a covetous spirit about yourself, because it's gonna lead you down a path of hating your brother, envying, even the oppressor, envying the oppressor, looking at them sideways. All these things breed hatred, and they breaking the commandments. So ultimately, it's gonna lead to death, because that's what sin breed, death. You know, but that's an anger that the brother talking about in a regard. And the Lord said, "Be angry, but sin not." So it's okay to be angry.
Mm-hmm.
That's an emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gonna go through that, but sin not. Said Matthew 5 and what now?
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 9.
Said this is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Yahweh, or children of God.
Right. And that's who we claim to be, the children of God. It said, blessed are the peacemakers. So us, the children of God, that we call ourselves, the children of God, we have to be the peacemakers instead of the creators of conflicts. Cannot call yourself a child of God and be creating conflict. They're just like I said the other week, two mad to going at the opposite side, they bouncing away from each other. You can't call yourself a child of God and being a creator of conflict at the same time. So we have to make a choice. What we're gonna be? We're gonna be a child of God, we're gonna be a creator of conflict.
Right.
All us on this call, we want to be called the children of God. The people who listen on this call, y'all want to be the children of God. So you have to examine yourself and see, are you a creator of conflict? Are
Right.
you out here spreading rumors? Are you out here talking behind your buddy back to somebody else? Don't be a creator of conflict. Be a child of God. Be a peacekeeper for the Most High.
Brother, I had to, bro. You said something right then, man. I got this. Can I jump in for a second?
Sure, bro.
Man, what you said, that's real.
Yes, sir.
Blessed are the peacemakers, so they should be the children. They should be called the children of God. Blessed be the peacemaker, not blessed be some conflict. Somebody going out there starting rumors, like you said, starting lies.
Right.
Man, it's real. What you said is real. I'm
Yes, sir.
gonna tell you something. I was at work one day,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember I was standing there with the other people. We was getting ready to get off work. We just had to wait maybe a couple more seconds, then we can leave.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the people there. Just it was kind of quiet. We just all standing there together, and somebody just said with no shame, let's let's hey y'all, let's go and start a room. Let's start some room. Let's do that. Let's start live to start some room. Let's do that. And I was kind of shocked. I was kind of surprised to hear this from this woman say that, because she was older, so she wasn't an old woman, but she was an older sister who you would think would know better, who you would think she had children that she was bringing up and raising. That was early young adults, and you would think that wouldn't be the type of person to want to go out here and create chaos in the world, because you got children out here in this world finna go out here into this world and have to navigate this wickedness. You would think that she would be somebody would be the type of person to want to make the world a safer place to be, not to make the world more chaotic and more full of lies. And that's what nobody answered. But she definitely said that, and she definitely and I believe I continue. Through the years, I continue being around and working with her through different times, and she was truly that way. She was truly an evil, wicked, malicious, devious person. She truly, truly was. But I didn't really, and I kind of figured she might have been, but I was still too early to say before she said that part. I kind of figured she was, but she started revealing more and more about herself, and that's where a lot of this stuff come from. It come from people when you first look at, you wouldn't think they that way. Like a lot of people out there, when you look at them, you first see them for the first time, you wouldn't think that they was the ones all this stuff come from. A lot of them, they look mild mannered. A lot of them look innocent. But just by looks, initial looks, they might look like that. But once you start being around them, you start picking up on certain keys and certain cues. Start letting you know that these people are out there. These lies ain't just coming from nowhere. These rumors ain't just coming from nowhere. They coming from people who you would think wouldn't want these things to be out there in this world, but they come directly from them same people, and they do that. They'll tell lies, they'll spread rumors, and they have a clear conscience when they do it. And then they'll go to church every Sunday, and they'll come back and they'll talk about all that kind of stuff. On one hand, they're talking, they want sympathy, or they talking peaceful, and then on the other hand, the same day, or almost in the same sentence, they saying something like that. Let's go out and create lies, create rumors, let's create conflict, let's create death, let's bring more death into the world. They don't care where it lands, who it hit, who it impact. They don't care about none of that. Only thing they concerned about is they had thrill. They enjoyed themselves. They did something that only them and a select few know about, and they feel like now that they somebody more than you now. They in a group that's in the know, and you got to be down with them, or in they click for with the stuff they know. They out there lying, telling lies on folks, and then they get on the telephone and they talking about it, and they laughing about it. Yeah, brother, I just had to say that all y'all wicked folk, all y'all wicked. See, we do these classes because we want our people out there to realize how stank, nasty, wicked you are. You are disgusting. And you need to know it out there, people out there in the streets, out there in the world. Y'all, people out there who don't want to keep God's commandments, y'all are stank, nasty, disgusting. And y'all need to know that. That's the reason why we do these classes, to hold that mirror up in front of y'all so y'all can see how wicked and evil and disgusting y'all are. We telling y'all these things because that's the only way that y'all will know. Somebody got to tell you. Y'all disgusting and evil and nasty, and you ain't nothing. And you got to know, but you'll never know better if you're not taught. So you're supposed to been told this by people who love you. People who love you supposed to tell you this, because those are the only people that'll tell you, like your mama and your dad and them. See, they supposed to told you. See, them people that love you, right? Well, you would expect it to hear from them, but they fail to do their job. So now it's up to your brothers to tell you how evil and disgusting and nasty and wicked you are. But you're still being
Yeah.
told by somebody who love you. Because if you don't hear from somebody who love you, people out there who don't care nothing about you is waiting on you. And they get their hands on you, go wish you had been told. See, that's why we do these classes. To wake out evil ass, disgusting people up.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, brother.
Good point, brother. Good point. From now, let's go to Romans chapter 14 and verse 19.
Book of
Romans.
Romans chapter 14 and verse 19. And it reads, let us therefore follow after the things which make for peace, and things wherewith one may edify another.
Right. Follow out the good things and continue to build one another up. That's our job. Building each other up. That's how we grow stronger as a nation. To build each other up. Not tearing our brothers and sisters down, which a lot of us like to do on social media, on the internet, every chance we get out in public, in front of our enemies, in front of the other nations that not part of the 12 tribes, make us look bad in front of them so they can laugh and point the finger and laugh at us going against each other. You know, follow out the good things and build each other up. That's what they do. They build each other up. They build each other up by stomping on us. They come on one accord to beat us down, and they build each other up by beating us down. And then we see them beating us down, and then we beat each other down too. What kind of sense does that make?
Dang.
Yep.
Good point.
We
So
feel like we supposed to do it. We feel like we supposed to. You
right.
know, I was thinking, can I say something else again, brother?
Yes, sir.
I got to. I was thinking earlier today, man, I was thinking about something. We do these things, we beat down by the society, and then we turn around and we beat each other down some more because we feel like we're supposed to do that. We feel like that's part of our culture. I was thinking about, have y'all brothers ever seen Cooley High, the movie Cooley? Well, anyway, it was a movie came out some years ago called Cooley High. And that movie was a big hit. And that movie came out, there's a couple more movies came out. American Graffiti came out, and there's another movie came out. Another one I can't recall. But it was another movie. It was several movies came out. But the one with the brothers in it, that was called Cooley High. Now in the other folk movie, oh yeah, Saturday Night Fever came out. Saturday Night Fever. That was when John Travolta was in that one. But anyway, they had these different movies. They was all big hits, you know. And in the movie, the like like the white folk, they might get into a car race and something, and then they might be insulting each other back and forth out the car window at each other and riding around all night and racing and having all kind of different adventures, you know. or like in Saturday Night, the one with John Travolta, that the Edomite jumped off the bridge and killed himself. See, if one of them get killed, that's how they get killed. It was an accident. See, or he had he didn't mean, he slipped and fell or something. But then the one with Cooley High got in it, that movie with the brothers in it. Guess how the brother got killed in that one? Beat to death by his other brother. Beat to death by his other brother. See, that's what they put out there for us to look at. Our life story is we go out in the world, we have adventures, we have all kind of exciting things happen. Then at the end of the day, we beat to death by one of our brothers. That's how that one pretty much ends. I was thinking about that today. I said, these movies came out in the 70s, man. And why they got to have a brother getting, other folk die in the other movie, but they ain't die like we die. Like that's part of our culture. That's part of the so-called black experience.
They call us savages. They try to put it on
Beat
the
to death
TV.
by your own brother. What you say, brother?
I say, they call us savages, so they want to put it on the TV show us as savages. To create a narrative.
Right.
A false narrative. When they the biggest savage that ever walked the planet Earth. When you go into their history to see who the real savage is.
And they presented to us in the movie form of a good movie that you can think back on and reminisce over this good movie, over a brother being beat to death by other brothers. See, that's how they deliver it to us, to where we accept that as part of our culture.
Movies like
that's our culture, beating each other to death.
Hey,
what you say, brother?
Movies like Boys in the Hood and Men to Society get an Academy Award and all that kind of stuff when we on there killing each other.
Right.
Right.
The young brothers, man, getting ready to go out into the world, man, getting ready to start their own, getting ready to start their life as adults. And that's how it starts off. Ain't even out of high school good and already been faced with a vicious violence, one against another. Still in high school. They were based in high school, like a high school movie. This is what happened to the high schoolers. This is part of your life. You're supposed to be prepared to be beat to death before you even make it out of high school.
Right.
I'm gonna try to be quiet. I'm gonna go ahead and there you go, bro.
You all right, brother. I'm finna bring out this is gonna be my last scripture what I got for the night class, but it's gonna go into Colossians chapter 3, verse 12 through 14.
Hey, King.
Yes, sir.
Can I bring out one?
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
Come out. Slack you, King.
No problem.
Before you bring it to the last one, I want you to get the last word. But I want to bring out one precept, well, maybe two, and make it quick.
Yes, sir.
And this was going to what the elder was talking about, and what you were talking about. A lot of times Israel, we look at killing one another, hurting one another is something glorious, something good. Like the brother Benite was bringing out how one of his friends was saying, "Hey, look, I get aroused, I get worked up when I start trouble, when I provoke another brother, for the weekend or whatever. Some Jake, they get off on that. They really do. They look at that as a thing to do. They go home happy and have no conscience about it, and probably eat pancakes in the morning, whatever, But that's the attitude of our people, saying that it's a malicious attitude, but we have that thing, So let me read this right quick. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 26. It said, "Let us not be desirous of vainglory." Us killing one another is vainglory. Hurting one another is vainglory, because you got some jakes that go shoot a brother and then go have a party, or then have a drink, or smoke with his other brother. You just kill and smoke the brother, then you go out and y'all party together, you and some other guys. Just like you said in Boys in the Hood, after they shot the brother, they went out and had damn burgers, They didn't catch him in the burger shack.
Mm-hmm.
That's Jake. Desires of vainglory. Like that's something good. You hurting one another. You know. It says this. It said, "Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another." You know what I'm saying? Because we easily provoking another brother. That's Jake's job to do is go provoke, go start trouble, start mess in his community. It'd be peace all day. Then Jake got to come somewhere with the loud music and a shooting in the sky just to get somebody's attention. Provoking one another. Man. So that's us. And I'm going to ask you, did you get it? Galatians chapter 5, verse 14?
Bring it
Was
up.
that
Bring
Con?
it up.
This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 14. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So when you keep the laws, commandments, that all sum up to one thing: just love one another. That's the whole purpose of the other commandments. Is basically brotherhood. That's all it
Mm-hmm.
really is. Loving
Mm-hmm.
one another. And
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to tell Jake before, the Ten Commandments is just basically just loving one another. It's brotherhood and sisterhood on how to treat one another. But Jake don't see that. He sees it's just something the Lord told him to do. It's hard for Jake. That's why it's hard for Jake to keep the commandment, because it's hard for him to love his brother.
Mm.
You know. But that's all I want to bring out, King.
Right. That should be something easy to do is love our brother, because we all we got. Everybody else against us. So it should be easy to love your brother. Good point, brother. Both of y'all. So let's go to the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 12 through 14.
Book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 12. Put on therefore as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering, forbearing one another, and forgiving one another, if any
Right.
man have a quarrel against any. Even as Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness.
Right. It says forbearing one another, meaning having patience with one another, right? And forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do you. So just like Christ forgave us, we got to forgive our brothers and sisters. And it says, and above all things, putting on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. Uh, that word charity, love, goodwill, thinking favorably toward our fellow man. And that's what this whole class been about. Love, goodwill, thinking favorably toward our fellow man. And that's what we have to do. If you're not doing it, Israel, you need to start doing it. Change your mind, change your thoughts. Look at your brothers and sisters as brothers and sisters, and start with the pettiness and confusion. You got a problem, bring that brother or sister one on one and try to squash that between yourselves. Don't put everybody in your business and say that this person did this person did that. Go to your brother or sister and try to squash that one on one. And if need be, go to a couple of more brothers and sisters and get them to hear the matter. And then y'all try to stop that confusion and solve that matter. But that's all I got for today's class. Unless anyone want to bring something else out for tonight's class. Yeah. So
I
once
got one little thing, brother. I just
okay.
want to go up. You was in Colossians chapter 3 and verse 12. We're gonna go up just a few verses to verse 9. Well, verse
Mm-hmm.
8. I started at verse 8. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But now this is Colossians chapter 3, verse 8. But now ye also put off all these. We supposed to put these things away from when we dealing with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Put away anger,
Mm-hmm.
wrath, malice, blasphemy,
Mm-hmm.
filthy communication out of your mouth. Put that out of your mouth. Verse 9. Lie not one to another. We ain't supposed to tell each other lies. We're not supposed to tell each other lies. So there goes that. And so parents, don't be telling your children lies. Don't start them off with lies. Don't be lying about the tooth fairy and all that. Those innocent little lies like that, don't even start that.
Mm-hmm.
I used to believe in that tooth fairy stuff. You know, we don't need to be
Right.
doing that. Okay, verse 9. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. So we got a responsibility. We gotta take off. You know, we can't hold on to what we've been doing and think we're finna put on all this good stuff. Like down here in verse 12, you had to put on therefore these good things. Put these good things on. But don't put these good things on over all this filthy bad stuff. Take this bad stuff off first.
Mm-hmm.
Our people out there in the streets, don't think you're gonna hold on to your filthy, evil wickedness and just clothe your, put on all this good stuff over all your stankness. You got to take some stuff, get rid of this stuff first,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put on all this good stuff that you're supposed to have on. But take off that filth.
Hey, you can't spray no cologne on and you ain't been in tub yet. You know?
Right. That's right, brother. So that's what we got to do. We got to take the filth off, get cleaned up, and then you got to put on all this good stuff then. So you got work to do. Can't hold on to what you just hold on to this world and think you finna put on all this good stuff. It's not gonna work. That's all I had, brother.
Let me add one right quick, just to go with what you're talking about, King, with the putting on the clothes when you still stink, you still fine. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 26 says that he may sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. So that's how you get clean. You got to wash yourself with the word. You know what I'm saying? You got to wash yourself before you try to put on them new garments. Try to put that smell good on. You got to wash yourself with this word. But it's on you, King.
Yeah, good point, brother. Good point. Well, once again, everyone who tuned in, glad you can tune in to another edition of A.O.I. Sabbath class. I'm Brother Ezekiel.
Brother Benaiah.
Brother Yakub.
Brother Baya.
Brother Ananias.
And we say shalom and happy Sabbath.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Shalom.